First of all, you can turn your book. I think it should be page 46. Page 46. Okay, and then I just go through a few exercise with you before we move on to the next one. Okay. Page 46 and 47. Now, if you if you have handed in the homework, sorry, make sure that when you are asked to draw the diagram, when you are asked to draw a diagram, make sure you read carefully what kind of diagram you are asked to draw. Okay. In this case, it means you must know the name of the diagram. Now, I think up to this moment, okay, you have in Form 1, in this chapter, we talk about pie charts, and then broken line graph, and then the third one will be stem and leaf diagram. And when you were in primary, you also have learned something called bar charts. Okay, but we are not going to talk about bar chart in Form 1, I mean in chapter 12. Therefore, you don't see any session, okay, about bar chart. Okay, we've basically, okay, focus on something new. Okay, and then therefore you should read carefully. You are asked to draw a stem and leaf diagram. And then don't mix up something called frequency distribution table. For frequency distribution table, that's the case that if you have a lot of data, then in that case, it is difficult to count the data, okay? Then in that case, we use frequency distribution table and something called Tolly, okay, to help us to count clearly, okay, accurately, okay? Therefore, just make sure that you remember the name. You remember the name of those table and diagram. Now, then in this case, for this one, if you have a look of the numbers first, okay, I think which one is the smallest? The smallest will be 80 something and then up to 100 something. Therefore, in this case, okay, it means the data range from 80 to around, okay, roughly 120. Now, therefore, in this case, we can separate the unit digit. Separate the unit digit. And therefore, it means the number will be separated in this way. Separate the unit digit. And therefore, in this case, now first, you need to, most of you forgot the title. And then listed below are this one. You can just copy this sentence to be the title. Then the numbers of with the numbers. Because the case is that most of you just focus on the numbers, but you just write the numbers correctly. Your chart is still incorrect. Okay, that's why could you please listen carefully what you need to write and draw, okay, when you are asked to draw the diagram, instead of showing me whether you have whether you have done the thing correctly here. Because if you have submitted the homework, this one is already is the classwork last week. Okay, that's why if you have submitted, I have seen that already. And then I know that whether you know how to do it or not. Okay, that's why I want to give you a kind of feedback. Yes. You can just pay attention. Okay, if you just keep asking me questions like that, I need to stop every time to just answer your question. Okay, right. Now, then you need, first of all, the title, usually in this case, you can just copy from the instruction or question given. Okay, I'm not asking you to write your own, create your own sentence for the title. That's why you can just write down the numbers of heartbeats of a group of people. If it is not, if there's not enough space, then you write your title in 2 lines. People in minutes. Okay. Then you can start your diagram. Okay, and then in the minutes. Okay, number of heartbeats. Therefore, in this case, there's no special units. And then you can just write that it represents 10. And then leave represent 1. And then therefore this 8 in this case, because this column represents 10, therefore this 8 means 80. 80, 8 times 10, 80. Okay, and then therefore we can have 9, 10. In this case, for this one, 10 here means 10 times 10 because this one represents 10. This column represents tens. Okay, therefore this one here means 100 something. Okay, and then you look at it, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, then in this case, it means for this one, for the next one, this one represents 110. Okay, 11 times 10. And therefore, in this case, when you do the stem and leaf diagram, first of all, okay, 8. Then you just look at the number, okay, with the 10 digits, which is 8. And then look which one is the smallest. 4 is smallest. 4 is the smallest. 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay, then you can cross them out. Okay, just make sure that you don't mix up the others. Then in this case, if you look at this one, because they are on the same row, therefore, if I look in this way, I mean this row represent 80 something, and this one represent units. Therefore, this is 84. Okay, 87, like that. This is the meaning, like that. 80 plus 7, like that. Okay, therefore in this case, it means it is easily, okay, for people to look. I have a number, I have a data which is 84. I have a value which is 87, 88, and then 89, like that. Okay, this is the purpose of using stem and leaf diagram. Okay, I can know that there are 4 data which are 80 something. And then not only that, I know that there are 4 data. One, okay, I know which 4. Okay, one is 84, one is 87, one is 88, and then one is 89, like that. And then after you have finished this one, then in this case you can and then 93, like that. Okay, continues in this way. And then we might choose once again. We might choose once again. Don't squeeze the numbers together. Don't squeeze the numbers together. You can see that I have aligned my numbers very nicely, tidily in a column like that. Okay, they are in one column. They are in one column, very clear. Okay, there is a clear space between the two numbers. Okay, don't squeeze your numbers together. This is one thing you need to pay attention. Now, if you look at the next one, okay, look at the next one, look at number 3, then you should know that why it is so important that we need to leave some space between the numbers. Now, then in this case, this column represents 100. Therefore, this 4 means 400 already. Okay, together with this one, it means 421. Therefore, if I look at the first row, I know there's a number 421, 423, 440, something like that. And then you can look at here, it means 1. 1, therefore, it here means 21 times 1. This one means 23 times 1. Therefore, this is 21, this is 23, this is 40, this is 42. And then together with this one, 400. And therefore, in this case, on the second row, there are 2 data. One is 509. The other one is 541. And then I have 601, and then 632. And then I have no data with 700 something, but I still need to write 7 here and then leave this part empty. And then the next one will be 828. Okay. And therefore it is, if you squeeze the numbers together, then it is difficult to read something like that. Okay, and then it is difficult to count the number of data. In this case, if you are asked, you can of course see that there are 15 here. But if you want to do it by counting, you know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there are 15 data here. Okay, that's why make sure that you write the title. Okay, we might choose once again. Okay, whenever you need to draw a diagram, okay, you need to write the title. And then you need to label, okay, what this means. Okay, if there's a unit, then you need to write down the unit. And then for stem and leaf diagram, make sure that you leave a space between the numbers. Okay, leave a even space. Okay, it means if you leave a space around this width, then you just keep this one uniform or even. Okay, don't sometimes like that, and then next one will look like that. Okay, and then 42, and then 43, and then suddenly 50, something like that. Okay, just keep the space. Okay, more or less the same. Okay, right. And for those who have handed in this classwork, I have checked the answer. Okay, for this one, for number 3, you just need to read the diagram and then look for the information. I think you don't have many problems in reading the stem and leaf diagram. And then for number 4, some of you haven't completed the diagram, but if you find that the space in your textbook is not enough, okay, write properly in a piece of paper. If you squeeze your work in such a small space, I will just cross it out and give you a 0. Then you just need to redo it again. Okay, that's why it means you are wasting your time because you have done something, but you don't do it properly. Then you need to spend another time again to do it all over again. Therefore, in this case, you just waste your time. That's why get your classwork book, exercise book, homework book, a piece of paper, anything, and then write your work properly and tidily. Okay, otherwise I will just ask you to do the homework all over again. Okay, now for this one, um, we haven't done any example on this one before, but I think for if I just look at those words I have received, I find that you are able to read this one. Okay, and then if you haven't done it, then we can just look at it together here now. Now for this one, you can see that this is called back-to-back stem and leaf diagram. Then you can see that we have the same stem but different data for the leaf. And then this one is for comparison. It means in this case, there are two districts. It means two area. Okay, district A and district B. And then I would like to know what happened to the air pollution. Okay, to see whether which area has more serious air pollution problem. Okay, therefore in this case, this one shows the air pollution index of the two districts. Okay, in the last 12 days. 12 days. Okay, therefore if you count the number, there should be 12 for each district. Now then in this case, just one simple question: in which district is the air quality better? Explain your answer. Now, if you know something about the pollution index, of course, if it is getting higher, it means more polluted. Okay, more polluted. Then in this case, it means lower quality. Therefore, if the quality of air is good, then in this case, the pollution index should be small, should be low. Okay, therefore, I think most of you are able to answer which it should be district A. But the explanation, you have a kind of problems in explaining the answer. Now, I think you may have some misunderstanding. Some of you told me that the total of the pollution index, okay, of district A is lower than this one. But the total means you add all these numbers together. But it is not really good to use a total. Okay. In this case, I think if you just look at the diagram, okay, we can see that for district A, most of the index, okay, are having smaller values. For this one, most of them are having bigger values. Okay, 70 something. But for district A, there are no data in this range. Okay, no 70 something, no 80 something. Okay, most are in 40 something. Now, therefore, I think you can explain in this way. Now, which district is the air quality better? It means in this one, this word in which, whenever we use this word, it means this one is a question. Therefore, when you answer, okay, then you can answer in district A. Okay, the quality we don't write is the quality better, then it is a question. We should write down the subject first. The air quality is better. Okay, then you have done the first part. Okay, you answer this one. And then you need to explain. Okay, and then for the explanation, you can refer to example 12 in your textbook. okay, more or less the same kinds of sentence, most, and then you look at these data. What are these data? Pollution index, air pollution index, then most air pollution index in district A, because most and then pro are lower than that in district B. Now here, then you can, of course, if you write in very full sentence, but it will make people think that it is where we will say that kinds of clumsy. Okay, most air pollution index in district A are lower than the air pollution index in district B. If you write in this way, it's just like repeating something, right? There, this part is repeating because we are talking about air pollution index. Therefore, this stat represents this one. We don't need to write this anymore. Okay, therefore, most, okay, many of, okay, or most, almost all index, okay, air pollution index in district A, you just follow this structure, lower than, okay, then what? Then you need to tell people, then what? Then that. That means this one, okay, and then you follow the remaining in district B, in this case. Okay, then you don't need to repeat the same, we call it phrases, okay, here. Okay, right. Now then we move on to the next one. There's another one. I would like to introduce you another diagram today. Okay, then you can look at number 6. Look at number 6. And then this diagram, the name of this diagram is called Skeptic Diagram. Therefore, when you are asked to draw a scatter diagram, don't draw a stem and leaf diagram. If you draw a wrong diagram, okay, then it is wrong, of course. Now, for scatter diagram, if I tell you that we can use a small triangle also instead of a cross, this is not the main points for the diagram, okay? Right, what? Right, this one is also for looking at something we call relations. Now, if you look at number 6, the table shows the number of 10 different hamburgers sold by a fast food restaurant on a day, okay? And then you can see it is separated by the word and their corresponding prices. It means some people, okay, for this one, okay, are trying to see whether the price will influence the number of hamburgers sold. For example, if the you may ask a question, if the price is lower, it means it's cheaper. Okay, will the restaurant sell more hamburgers? Okay, this is we call relations. It means I want to know whether the price can influence or affect, okay, the number of hamburgers sold. Okay, and then for example, just have a quick look on question 7, age and sleeping time. It means, will the age affect the sleeping time? For example, if someone is getting older, will that person sleep more or sleep less? Then this is called a kind of relations. And then we try to use a diagram to show whether they have a relations. And then in this case, we use something called scattered diagram. In this case, stem and leaf diagram is not good. Each diagram, different diagram have different uses. Stem and leaf diagram can list out all the data, but we can do comparison, in this way, but we are doing comparison, of same thing. In this case, air pollution index. But this one, we want to talk about something called relations. Whether this one is related, this one cheaper, will I sell more? Something like that. We look at different things. Now, therefore, in this case, now I think you can refer to your book, and then I'm going to show you how to draw the scatter diagram. Right. Now, for drawing a scatter diagram, we better use graph paper, and then same as before, whenever you draw a diagram, you tell people what you are going to tell or what you are going to show. Therefore, there must be a title. Therefore, in this one, you can create two assets first, and then first we write down in this case, if you really want to cut it short, at least you need to write down the numbers of 10 different hamburgers sold. By if you really want to skip, you can skip this part only by fast food restaurant on a day. But of course it is better you just write everything. Of course, in your textbook, you will find that they don't use the lines, for the title, because they use bold type. It means you can see that the title are printed, um, with a different font. That's why you can see very clearly that one is a title. But if you do it by handwriting, then it is better you use a line here. Then in this case, you first of all look at the number, see whether you have enough space. And then I can have Right. Okay. And then you can write, you can mark it clearly. Okay. Like that. Okay. And then you need to write down what this number represents. This number represents number of hamburger sold. Okay. And therefore this one, and then this one I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 here, right? And then this one represents the price. And then the unit, write down the unit. Okay. And then this one, when it just like plotting coordinate. When the price is $7, then 11. And you may use a ruler to help you. Okay, 7. And then 11 should be here, right? And then you mark it. Okay, and then 9 will be 13. Okay, like that. You then mark it one by one, like that. $8.20, right? And then the other one, $8, and then only 10 hamburgers are sold. And then for the one $6, okay, on one day, okay, 24 are sold. And then the $5, there's another type which is $5, and then 18, and then $7 again, this time only 9. And then the other one $5 and then 17, right? Here. And then $10, and then I have 6, and then $9, 15. Okay, 10 different hamburgers. It means for these 10 different hamburgers, they have different prices. Okay, one is $7, one is $9, one is $8. Okay, and then in this case, and I want to have a record of the numbers of these hamburgers sold in one day. Okay, it means for one type, if you look for one type, okay, one type of hamburger, okay, the price of that is $5, and then 17 of it are sold. But for the other one, okay, there's other one also $5. The price is also $5, and then on that day 18 hamburgers are sold. Okay, it means for these 10 different hamburgers, some of them are having the same price, and then you just record how many of them are sold in a day, okay, in that restaurant. Then this one is a scatter diagram. It's a scatter diagram. Now, just now someone asked you whether you use a cross. It depends. Okay, the first choice we will use a cross to represent the points, but in some cases, but it's not in your curriculum. Okay, for some cases, if I have another kinds of data, and then I need to put them in the same diagram. Then if I want to show people that there are two different sets of data, then in that case, the other one may use another symbol. Okay, the other usual symbol we may use Maybe some people may use a very small triangle like that, or just use a circular dots. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Of course, actually, we prefer to use the cross first. Okay, then no need to do anything. Okay, don't draw the lines. Okay, no need to draw any lines. Okay, and then we just see how these points locate in the diagram, and then see whether we can get any information. Okay, and then this one is called scatter diagram. Scatter diagram, and then we'll try to usually when we have a diagrams like that, then we will look at see whether there's kinds of relations between these two. It means if by looking at this diagram, do you think that for those hamburgers, okay, which are more expensive, okay, then the numbers of them sold in a day will be smaller? Okay, do you think in this way? Okay, by looking at this diagram. Okay, but for this one, you are just asked to draw only construct the diagram. Okay, just finish the construction. Now, of course, in this one, for this one, if you look at it more carefully, then you will see that actually no hamburgers are having the price of from $1 to $4. Now, in this case, you can choose to skip this one. Okay, if you want to skip this part, then it means this axis, instead of drawing here, you may need to move the axis. It means we don't need this point. Then we move the axis here. Then in this case, do you remember this symbol? This one means we have skipped some data, skip some value, and then you move this part to here. Then in this case, your diagram will look like that. Okay. But for this one, this empty space is not that big. Okay, you can just draw in this way. But sometimes if your diagram has a lot of empty space, and then your data are only in this part, then you better skip this part in this way. Then we will talk about it in more details tomorrow. Therefore, today's classwork, question 7. Question 7. Okay, this is question 6. Then you do question 7. Okay, and then we will check the answer